Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Goldylocks Productions presents Enlightening Conversations with Pam Silver Eagle.
Hello, and welcome to the Enlightening Conversations with Pam Silver Eagle debut show. Debut sacred space, let's say it that way. So I want to say hello to everyone. I cannot see who's out there, but I know that whoever is here is meant to be here by divine order. And those who cannot join us in this live space certainly will find us at the divine right time. So I am just so thrilled. It has been an amazing journey and my journey to bring me here today as a wayshower, a sacred, very gifted healer. I want to just introduce myself for those of you who don't know me, and I know that there are so many of my sisters and brothers that are watching with me. I can feel the love. I can feel the love and the curiosity from those who are tuning in now for the first time to get to know me and my sacred mission. So I am a messenger of love and light. I am a sacred rainbow warrior, and my soul is steeped deeply, many lifetimes as an indigenous one. And I am now reawakening, bringing this wisdom, the ancient wisdom, and the gifts of my medicine, my ancient medicine coming through me, flowing through me. You can be assured that you are in a safe space, and you will always be experiencing very organicness when you are with me. And so, again, wherever you are along your journey, wherever you are on your path, because all of us, all beautiful souls, are certainly in different places, different spaces. And I know that I came back this time. I said yes to the call to return, to help others, to assist my brothers and sisters to evolve at the soul level. And so, and now I have this beautiful platform to get my messages, my healing, my wisdom out to the greater masses on this beautiful platform. So I'm grateful for Tiffany and really excited to be here as part of this elite team, Goldylocks Productions. So a little bit more about me. I have spent a lifetime in wellness, this lifetime. I have been on the platform for 30 years, about 30 years, as a physical education teacher, athletic coach. I have been a very accomplished athlete. And the reason I speak these things is because I can see, looking back, how it prepared me for this time, this most auspicious time of the Great Awakening, this new golden age of enlightenment, in which our whole earth and the Earth Mother herself is ascending to new levels at the conscious level. And so knowing that we are co-creators, we are not just here, we are not victims. And as we reawaken and remember who we are, that of love and in respect, that everyone has perhaps some different beliefs or different spiritual ways of beingness. Could be, some people would call it religion. Whatever those things are, we know that we are so supported and we truly are all walking together. And without judgment, there is so many different paths all leading to the same place, which is really love, and the truth of we are one. We are one. I am also very blessed to be an anchor for these new earth energies. So I'm an anchor and a stabilizer. So see it as the rainbow bridge coming from the heavens down into Earth Mother, who I have always been so very connected with, Mother Earth, and that layer of deep connection, gratitude, the wisdom, the divine love coming from Earth Mother, Pachamama, however you call our beautiful host, our home. I'm so connected that it is my joy to create nature journeys and help people to reconnect with Earth Mother so that they too can remember who they are and that we are all part of this great web of life. as the indigenous ones taught, this great web of life and all that is out there, all the kingdoms, the plant kingdom, the tree kingdom, the rock kingdom, all the fairies and the nature elements and the sacred elements and the wind and all of the sacred elements, all the angels, the archangels. I work with the ascended masters, and I had quite an initiation when Mount Shasta called me, beloved Mount Shasta, home. And so through that experience, now teaching the wisdom that comes from the teachings of the ascended masters and the sacred flames. So that has been part of my own journey to remembering, and it is mine to share with all who feel called to be with me, to receive my services. I am very, very humble and yet very honored to really come into the realization of that I am presence, the God self. And when we start remembering the depths of who we are and why we've come, we can truly see our brothers and sisters as one all across the globe. And now more than ever, we are coming together. And isn't it interesting? Because in this time of intentional separation, I call this our spiritual global retreat that we've been on for months now, and really recognizing so many people in so many different places with what is taking place. The true power, the mastery of understanding that we co-create our own reality. And that's not to say that we're not being compassionate or loving towards all that is seemingly going on in the 3D. Because those of us who've come to shift to the higher dimensional level, create our own lives. What do we want that to look like? Yes, we have that power. I know that I grew up in a religious belief system that wouldn't have enabled me to look beyond. And I was guided in the time of, I was really shifting in my awakening to look beyond. And it was the indigenous ways, the spirituality of the Native Americans, my brothers and sisters, my ancestry, the lives I've lived. And they helped me to feel safe. So it's important that we feel safe. And it's important that, we recognize that, again, everyone's in a little different place. But so we have social media, which is, this is a big leap for me because the technology and my vibration. And so I put it off and look, Spirit went, hey, we've got this space for you right here with Goldylocks Productions. And it's a beautiful place to get started. So again, it's this time of separation, intentional separation, and we really have been separated long enough. And so when we get clear from the heart, knowing that we are all one, there really is no separation. As my dear friend, sister, and amazing Wayshower, Alania Starhawk, would say, remember, I am you and you are me. And I hear her voice speaking that often, even when I am moving through challenging times. And so, again, we're all walking each other home, and in the meantime, creating the beautiful space and standing in our power now, rising as one, truly, the unity consciousness from a heart center, the sacred balance of divine masculine and feminine, truly, deeply going within. That's what many have had to do at this time when they are maybe in seclusion. And certainly all of our lives have shifted. And it is a blessing because we've had opportunity to go deeper, where, fair to say, in our humanness, we've all put it off. And so we've all gone down to new depths. And now we're rising up out of the ashes, like the great phoenix. How interesting in the season that the Catholics would call Easter, the Orthodox of the Lenten season, and all that it truly represents. And it was so in alignment with the astrology and everything that was going on, and all the new energies coming in, just the blessings and the graces. And so I think everything is truly all connected. There's so much synchronicity. And sister, Starhawk, thank you for being here. You have to, everyone should be patient because I see from time to time, a name pop up, one at a time, one at a time. And so again, all one, and just can feel it. Love to everyone. So today, I think, that's suffice. So a little bit about my services, my sacred services. Let's do that. I am creating nature journeys for people. And, as I watch, again, this great stay-at-home order command and how we've all navigated through that. And what has it done? The blessings of what has it done automatically? What did Creator create for us? An opportunity when the people are all staying in. And when I'm here in Pennsylvania right now, this is where I was born and raised. And so I arrived here the season of winter, which means I couldn't, go out and spend all day frolicking about in the winter weather, although I did get out. And so people have returned to nature, out to Earth Mother to reconnect naturally. People who wouldn't normally maybe take the time. As a society, we've become so busy. My journey in the last 4 or 5 years has given me an opportunity to pave the way. I've been being prepared because my life has been very different than many people's lives. I have been to the depths, had the opportunity to live in the now moment and recognize all the blessings and go deeper into self. And so again, looking in the mirror per se, now I can see how I was so being prepared to come and help show others the way. So again, people going out in nature, we see the animals are taking back the land. We see them in places we think they shouldn't be, and they're reclaiming what was once theirs. And now that, different places all across the United States and beyond, very different locally as to what the ordinance is, what you can do, where you can go, where you can be. But nature is always that place where we can be safe. We can be safe. And as I can remember the first morning that I heard an airplane for the first time again, just maybe last week, one day here, where I am locally. And I had tears coming down my cheeks because I thought, I know the blessing of being able to travel in that way. And I use the modern day wings myself. However, just the pureness of all that has been created, all that has been renewed during this time of rebirthing. So too, Earth Mother in her ascension. The water is so much pure. We're seeing the evidence all across the globe. And again, in the animals coming back, and some of the animals that we thought were extinct are reappearing, and they're discovering new species, and they'll continue to discover more because these species, they went underground. They went to places because they saw that humankind was not being so kind. Selfishness, and the depleting of Earth Mother's resources, and the destroying, and the wanting to control the animal kingdoms and the natural elements. And so this is where we're at. This is the great shift of let's get real. How did our ancestors tell us we would be living? It's happened. Many great prophecies said this day would come, and we're here. And so now what do? Where are we going to go? What are we going to create? It has to be heart-centered. It has to be from unity consciousness, because anything else is not going to thrive. It's not going to thrive because we are in this time of Aquarius, and this is a time where all men, all women, all children, and animals, all living beings thrive, coexist together, the great web of life. And so, again, it is my great honor to be here. I create nature journeys. I'm a very gifted healer. And I say that in a very humble way, and yet those who've had sessions with me would most likely say that it's very powerful activations and vibration frequency upgrades, and yet so very peaceful. And so I offer those, and at this time I will be offering those long distance. And if you're in the area up here where I'm at, in the Erie, Pennsylvania area, I will, I can do that too without whatever your safe distance comfort zone is. And certainly the nature journeys to get up here. I invite everybody, come on up and I'll take you for a walk about the woods. I hope you saw my video just a little bit earlier this morning. If you didn't, tune in, because to give you a flavor of my connectedness, my oneness with, excuse me, Earth Mother and all the divine beings, and how we raise our frequencies. And when we send up our prayers with intention, it's about living with intention. And when we live in this way, the sacred way, then we start to, of course, draw to us all the good, all the blessings, including all the relationships, all the community, all the magic and miracles, and unlimited. And so the nature journeys, the energy sessions, activations. I'm also offering spiritual guidance and coaching, mentorship. You can look on my Facebook page, my Pam Silver Eagle LLC Facebook page. I just got up last week, I think it was. And you can see what my offerings are currently. Eventually, retreats and workshops to come. One of my great passions, I was telling Tiffany, the producer here of Goldylocks, that being out in the woods this morning, it's where it is where I'm in my element, and it's where I would love to do some of my shows. So that's my plan. We just got to get the setting right with technology, and then we're going to roll. So I look forward to doing that in person with some of you, and we can do it virtually, if not in person. So workshops and retreats. Doesn't that sound like fun? And what else? So who knows? There's going to be a lot more. I don't even know all of what else is coming, but it's coming because I've just put it up there and I see it so. And I know that so many of you are holding that space with me. And we're doing it together. So it's all so good. It's all so good. I'm going to get a drink of my sacred water, and I hope that you have some with you. So we're going to bless it right now. We're just going to send some vibrations. So if you have water with you, and that's, by the way, the wellness that I teach. This is mind, body, spirit, soul stuff, right? That we've got to take care of ourselves, nurturing ourselves first. That's where we start. Yeah. And so we give gratitude to the water. And if you have water, I just invite you to bless your water. And let's just take a sip of gratitude, blessing the water. Water is life, right? So important. We've got ascension symptoms flowing through us because our bodies are changing at the depths of what more than most of us can even fully comprehend, even though those of us that know some of the stuff, there's so much more. So drink lots of water and eat lots of greens and fruit. Really, really, if you're experiencing, these symptoms of, and there's so many resources you can look at. What, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that truly is our vibration, our Earth Mother vibration. We're shifting, the frequencies coming in, and so too to our depths, the cellular level, every atom, electron, our energy centers. We know the chakras, right? It's all expanding. So we have to take care of our body. We have to rest when our body says, hey, I need to rest. We have to eat right, drink lots of water, and do things that make you happy. Because I know I'm covering a lot of ground here this morning, but back to this stay-at-home order, the spiritual global retreat. It is fair to say everyone's lives have changed forever. We're not going back to where we used to be. Thank you, God. So we got to create the new. What's that going to look like for you? I know what my vision looks like, and what I'm speaking out in prayer, and how I'm readjusting when I get off balance. So balance is so key. The balance, yes, the divine masculine and feminine first here within oneself, and then two, how are we going to be within our society? Many maps, our brothers and sisters of Telos and Mount Shasta. To me, I believe they hold the key to the civilization in which many of us are aspiring to, not just aspiring, but we are actually taking the steps to co-create. And if you're not familiar with what I'm speaking of, again, that may be a topic for one particular day, but you can look it up, Mount Shasta, if you're feeling a little God bump, and that's a little signal for you to check it out. All right, so what I think I want to do next is I want to create a sacred space. Again, knowing that these times that we're in, they are challenging and they are amazing at the same time. And so I know there's so many virtual offerings that there have been days, weeks that I've had to just totally go, I bless that offering and the amazing souls giving it, and not one more virtual offering can I take in right now. And that's a really good piece of awareness. Again, what is right for you. But for now, if you're still on board with me, I want to create a little sacred space here. And what I would ask you to do is I'm going to call in the healing of the sacred flames. So the healing ray, and I do a lot of work with the healing ray and the violet flame, all the sacred flames. But I want to intentionally call those in the divine flame of cosmic love, because we also need the graces and the blessings and the wisdom coming in from those particular rays. And again, if you're not familiar with the sacred rays are, just know or feel if it's right for you, and you stay here on board. Know that you are already receiving transmission as I'm speaking. And I've got sacred flute here with me. You can hear it, you can feel it. And we are going to do a little prayer meditation transmission for you. So I would invite you to get comfortable if you're not already comfortable, and take a couple breaths. And if it feels right, close your eyes. I won't be able to tell if you're peeking. It's all good. It's up to you. And again, I'm going to invoke the sacred flames, knowing that we are all fully protected right here, right now. Call in the angels and the archangels and the ascended masters, the healings of the sacred flames. And I would ask you to envision, and maybe even to speak out into the universe at this very moment, your prayers from your heart, whether they be prayers for yourself, prayers for loved ones, all of our brothers and sisters across Earth Mother, all sentient beings, whatever is on your heart. There's so many who are suffering and in pain. There's so many who are lost, perhaps abandoned, so many who have been serving so compassionately in our medical facilities and in our grocery stores and beyond, your first responders and so forth. And so whatever you feel to hold in your heart, and if you want to speak out into the universe, I'm going to just pray a little flute here. And afterwards, we can, I will take some questions if you have questions, and share what maybe you have experienced. I'm going to adjust here, and I just breathe in, center yourself. I can give myself a little space here. It must be God calling. Hey, you can't make it up when it's live. Yes, and yeah, boy, yeah, yeah. Yes, boy, okay. And so as you start to recognize the platform on which you are standing on or sitting on, and gently moving the fingers, toes, Some gentle in breaths and out breaths too. I am now grateful and will receive any questions or shares of what you perhaps just experienced. So I know Tiffany is going to help me see some of the comments that come up. And when you see me do this, it may be my energy, but it could also be that I'm reading your messages. So you see one here that says, Jules, is that a dolphin on her flute? And the answer is no, it's the thunderbird, the eagle. So very relevant, yes. So it's a beautiful flute in the key of A, made by the High Spirits, which is one of the common flute makers that make lovely flutes. So this flute came to me probably about 8 years ago, and I had never played flute before other than, just like you, flutophone in elementary school. But I was guided to, so resonated, and of course I understand why now more than ever, but it is how truly some of my medicine comes through. Oh, beautiful. Is it I now? I'm sorry, it's a little hard to see my little box. Such happy tears. Oh, blessings to you. I'm so grateful and so glad that you're receiving. Thank you for sharing. Oh, amen. Thank you. Such healing sound from Goldylocks Productions. That is beautiful, such healing sounds. Thank you. So, again, if anybody has anything else they want to share, what they just experienced in our sacred circle, or a question, I'd be glad to answer to the best of my ability. We're going to take another sip of water. Anybody else, any questions? Any questions about my sacred services, about me, or something you experienced again during the our beautiful meditation and prayer time? And thank you. I want to say thank you for putting up the intentions of your prayers. It is so important to live with intention, as I said. Whenever, constantly for me. And I always send up the intentions when I'm grounding the energies, bringing the energies in, anchoring the energies to Earth Mother. For I know that I was in the woods the other day and I was smiling, and I call them my team, my guides, and the ascended masters and the ancestors, the ancient guardians that walk with me, and all the celestial brothers and sisters that I'm getting clear on my contact with. They're here to assist us. And I heard on call. So Lee Chapin, my friend Lee Chapin, thank you. I saw beings behind you. Do you know who you're? I've got a lot of guides. Who did you see? Other than the wonderful elk, which such a great totem for me, and my mom actually as well. I've got, I walk very, a long walk, very well aware, conscious walk with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, so the Holy Family. My protector guide is a very strong fatherly figure to me. His name is Hawkeye. He was part of my life here, and actually in this area, this territory. Is one of the reasons I was called back here at this time, by the way, is it was pivotal for me to be here to anchor in the new earth energies here in this space. Very ancient, the ice age, glaciers and so forth from this great basin here on Lake Erie. And so it was, prevalent that I was to be here. And so here I am. But what I was still saying before the question came in, and I'll get back to maybe some more of that. So like I said, the ascended masters, certainly, and some indigenous ones, some medicine men, medicine women, some of the great leaders from the indigenous nations. I'll say, and let me get back to here. So I was in the woods, and what I heard was on call. I am always on duty. So it's much like the first responders, or those who are I don't know, whatever it is that you do for occupation, and you're always on call. So that's me in spirit, and so it's important to be intentional. Yeah. So any other questions? Anybody have another question for me? So, like I said, just really deepening in my relationship and recognizing, and I smile. And sometimes in my humanness, I say, oh man, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you've been here all this time with me. So the Ascended Masters, like I said, and, the Archangel Michael and I, we are tight. So grateful for Archangel Michael. And, the elementals are magical when I'm in the forest. So we all have our different intuitive gifts, and it's so important when we're in community or communing with those who are awakened. Sometimes in that human ego, there can become lots of jealousy or comparison, competition. There's no competition. We're all very unique, and we've all been suited up with everything we needed to come and be here at this time. And as we remember, bringing back ancient wisdom from the Akashic records, and things, other roles that we've done, most likely our souls are doing that here now, or we have the opportunity if we say yes. It's always free will. So again, as we remember who we are and what we've done in the lifetimes, and if you haven't heard of the Sacred Flames, and if you get into that sacred text, to me, as a matter of fact, I'm going to give it a plug. It's right here with me. It goes all about with me. This is a beautiful text, and it was channeled by Aurelia Louise Jones. It's Mount Shasta Publishing. This is part of the course I'm teaching. It's part of the teachings, and I was doing some of those teachings here in the Erie area at Stoneworks Wellness Center. I give a shout out to my friend Sherry, who is the owner there. I hope to get back there soon and be offering some of my energy work as well as teachings. And tell us about how you do your hands-on healing work. Okay, well, the hands-on healing work is so beautiful because we can be mobile, right, in this way. So the energy that flows through me is, like I said, it's my ancient medicine, and I've got an A team that works with me in spirit. So I was originally guided to study Qigong, and so I did, and that's how I started cultivating my life force. Speaking of intention, and I did it faithfully, like every day and throughout the day. It didn't matter where I was. I could be at the gym. I've learned how to, I just started infusing it with my workout. Talk about cool. As I see everybody go to the gym and people are pumping up on all these energy drinks, steroids, as I'm doing my energy work. What's next? So all natural. That's how we roll. That's what it has to be for us to have a high vibration, right? We have to remain pure. So, the energy work comes to me. So I use the breath work and step aside the indigenous ones would just call. I was guided to study Fool's Crow. I was whispering in my ear years ago. So I taught in a very humble way the ways of the healing, the Native Americans. And so I think that one of the things with the ancient teachers and with some of the Native Americans is, when I say that, I'll just say for Fool's Crow, what I was reading, is that we step aside and become the hollow bone, or that, the pure channel, however we want to say it. But when we really reach the knowingness of who we are, we remember who we are, we are that presence. And so keep your body temple pure and your frequency high, and always from the heart space. And that's how, the medicine just comes through. And so breath work and through my hands, but also heart transmission. So again, everyone's receiving right now, and there's a giving and receiving. Right? So we're all sharing. But the transmissions come through vocal, through flute. Frequency comes through my hands, but certainly heart transmission as well. I hope that answered the question. Anybody else? Please, again, check out, while I'm waiting for maybe another question or comment to pop up, check out my Silver Eagle Facebook page, and you can click on any of those tabs to schedule an appointment with me or to connect with me. Facebook Messenger. I don't currently have a Facebook. I don't currently have a website. Perhaps it's coming, but in the meantime, it's so easy to connect with me. Just connect with me on my Pam Silver Eagle Facebook Messenger, and like I said, you can schedule appointments. The buttons are all right there. And if you want to, some of those services, of course, are very customized. And so if we need to connect and talk, simple, we can do that. But start with Facebook Messenger, and I appreciate that. I'm excited to see those who come and to receive again any of the services that I'm offering at this time, and more to come certainly in the near future. All right, I'm looking at my time here. Any other questions as I take a sip of, again, my So Sacred water? And because you are receiving this transmission, you're going to, really important to drink lots of water, which I already have said a number of times, but because most of us, even sometimes me, don't drink enough water throughout our day, every day. Please drink pure, good water, right? Bless it and receive. But with this transmission, you also, if you're in a place where, you can honor what your body is asking of you. If you need to rest after receiving this session with me, then rest. If you feel like you want to get up and go and move your energy about, go for a walk, go for a run, go biking, whatever that looks like for you in your situation, wherever you are. For the next few days, you may feel effects from your time with me today. So again, and if you have questions, if you experience something afterwards, or if you've received something, okay. If you're experiencing something, you have questions, personal questions, or you want to ask me, again, Facebook Messenger is the place to do that. And if you have anything in the next couple of days, just reach out, and I'll be glad to see if I can help you. So there's somebody who's saying I ought to tell about one of my great passions, and that I was a co-creator of the Earth Care Ministry at First Unity of St. Petersburg. And my friends Douglas Bonar and Teresa Miller and Mary Gherkin and I came together one day at the beautiful space of Sacred Lands. And a shout out to Doris and the gang down at Sacred Lands. For those of you familiar with St. Petersburg, Florida, in that area, it's such a beautiful space. They hold such sacred ground there, truly, and so many wonderful gatherings. So really grateful to them. So that's where it came together. And we got together and we started sharing from our heart and putting onto the table what our passions were and our gifts, our skills, our experiences, our connections. And from there, we created the Earth Care Ministry at First Unity. And with the first year, so many wonderful accomplishments. We actually won the Unity Worldwide Ministries Award, first place in our first year, for all the accomplishments that we listed, that we checked off the box, that we completed. And so, we've been a wonderful model there of how we're merging this in a spiritual community, how to be. And, it takes coaching, because we can speak it, but unless we're walking the talk, that's not going to mean a whole lot. So are we recycling in our homes, or are we recycling in our gathering centers, whether it be our spiritual center, our workplace? The first refuse, reuse, recycle. And I know the recycling is different every place, so you've got to look into that. But these are the ways we can be responsible with how we're having our beingness, how we are being here on Earth Mother. And so, yes, great passion and gratitude, and for all those who supported us there at First Unity and launching that ministry is truly one of my great passions. One of my great accomplishments is I knew that I had great work to do with Earth Mother years ago, and I wasn't sure how that was going to look, but boy, it's the time has come and we're getting it done. So are there any other questions? Looks like, hey, all right. What else can I share? Let's see. How about a moment in the stillness and the quietness? Isn't that nice? So, again, I think just the times we're in, it's so important to get really clear on how we want to live our lives, and not let people control us, and yet to discern and be mindful, and to open our eyes to so many revelations that are coming forward that we didn't even know was going on under the surface level, behind the scenes, and not just recently, but for a long, 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 long time, certainly here in America and all across the globe. So important to be heart-centered. And it's not always easy. I have spent my life, this lifetime, and I'm sure many others, being the path blazer, and it's not always popular. Some would say maybe rebel. Uh, I wear that badge, thank you, with a smile, because I've come to stir things up, like many of you have, in a good way, in a peaceful way, and yet saying enough is enough, and there's a deeper truth, and this is where we're going. This oneness, new earth, golden age of enlightenment, in a time of empowerment, but a time again where we coexist and as one, including with Earth Mother. So I honor those of you who have had similar paths as wayshowers, as healers, the light workers all across the globe. It has been a brave call to answer, to come back and be here at this time of such an auspicious time. There's never been I don't think there's ever been a time as important as this. And so, how to be with those who maybe aren't quite as aware. It's a delicate balance. I have had the blessings and the opportunity for even greater mastery in the last few months of staying with my parents, and the blessing of really learning to support each other wherever you are, whatever your beliefs are. There's so much fear being talk about intentional, so much fear that has been planted, and it keeps getting broadcast, whether it be social media, the TV stations, the newspapers, whatever it is. We get to make choices and say enough is enough, and release those things that no longer are in alignment. People, places, things. It happens as we go up the ladder, as we increase our consciousness. And so, we bless those experiences, relationships, communities, neighbors, whatever it is, occupations, careers that no longer serve us. And we step forward. And certainly as we step forward, there we meet the new that is in alignment with us. And without judgment, it's okay. We're in different places. That is not my truth. This is not my way of life. This is not in alignment with my heart. It's important. It's not only okay, it's so important to stand in that power and that truth, and be a model for those who may be not as strong and able to do that at this time. So, any other questions, or again, experiences from that they want to share during my meditation and our prayer time? We've got a few minutes left here. It's about 10 minutes. Anybody have any questions for me? Any other questions for me? Thank you for those of you who've been posing questions. It's good. Intuitive abilities. As our frequency increases, we're starting to recognize that we're being downloaded with greater wisdom and greater capabilities. And so rest is really important. Again, mind, body, spirit. So make sure that you're getting lots of sleep. Again, these energies some days are so super powerful. We've had so much amazing between the astro and the gifts that are coming in from the heavens that's shifting us, shifting all around us. So really honor, and explore. It's like, oh, look what I can do now. That's cool. How does this work? It's kind of like me with technology. It's like, oh, really? Let's explore. So don't be afraid to explore. And, again, whenever you're centered in love, in the heart space, you can't go wrong. And, it's, there's no mistake. It's all opportunity to learn. And so too with our spiritual gifts. Okay, good question. Thank you, Lee. The question is asking if I can share how to connect more with Earth Mother at this time. Certainly. One more drink of water. So important to ground these energies that are coming in for those of you who may not have already been practicing this. And you don't have to go spend all day outside, but that's a good idea. Simply by going outside. And if you are in a climate where you can get your bare feet on the grass, in the sand, that's perfect. If not, at least with your shoes, get out on Earth Mother. And if you have a beautiful tree nearby, ask the tree, say, hello, beautiful, I would love to exchange energy with you. And we will root it down deep into Earth Mother, to the crystalline grid. And we will then bring it up through our own tree of life and through our branches up into the heavens. And so with the breath work, again, whenever you're out on the ground, and if there's no tree right where you are, okay, you just do it because you are a tree. Feet on the ground, flat on the ground, and breath. Seeing your feet go deeply, just like a tree's roots, into Earth Mother, down deep, 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 and you feel so centered and safe, calm. And then you take the breath work up, all the way up through your body, slowly, no hurry, slow. And on the inhale, bring that energy all the way up, envision, or however it works for you. And then if you can put your spine, again, if you're at a tree, put your spine on the back of the tree. So, all the way up through the branches into the heavens. And then slowly bring that back down. Breathing it in all the way down into the earth and back up. And, certainly through the chakras and then back up into the heavens. So just, a few times every once in a while. Or if you're going to be outside all day, just enfold yourself in that love and those practices. Really, really important to ground with these energies coming in. As above, so below. As above, so below. And that's a really great, little mantra that I do often when I'm doing that breath work and setting the intention of the grounding. Because back to that, we are all one, is what you're doing for yourself, you're also doing for others, and including our brothers and sisters of the kingdoms. And so wise, so important to do it with intention. Question is, do you have a set time for your sacred ceremonies, or do you just go with the flow on when it needs to be done? Both. If I am hosting, a sacred circle, meditation, workshop, class, sacred ceremony, then of course it's scheduled. But it is how I walk about the earth in the sacred way. I walk the red road. I walk in peace, in beauty, purity. And when so it can also be very spontaneous. And that's part of my contract as an anchor. And I feel the energies. Some of you, if you see some of my pictures on Facebook or the videos, I have a lot of people asking about the frequencies they see as me and around me. Well, that is all part of my soul mission. It's not everyone's soul mission, but there are many of you out there who are also, frequency carriers. And as your frequencies are getting higher, and you're bringing these anchoring in these new energies and gifting as healers and light workers. So again, everyone's role is different, but so it can be very spontaneous. I'll feel the energies when I'm out in the land, and I will know the wisdom in me, right? My sovereign self knows what to do. And it's been surprising, a surprising journey, what comes through. And, the chanting and the sacred voice of long ago, my ancient language, and the harmonies that come through. And so it is fun. When I say explore, you'll see, it's amazing. Just courageous and be brave, and know that we're all doing this together. And certainly social media is enabling us to be able to connect even when we are across the miles from each other. Looks like we've got a few minutes left. Are there any other questions? I don't see anything else popping up right now. Tiffany, do you have anything else for me? I want to, I'll just kind of start closing out, but still, if anybody pops in with another question, that's fine. I'll be glad to take it as time allows. Again, please connect on Facebook, my Facebook Messenger, if you want to directly contact me. Thank you. And again, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. My journey in life has taught me to be very grateful and give gratitude always, and to enjoy the now. And let me leave you with this, if I may. It's so important with, again, all the energies going on around us, to do things that bring you great joy. And we can actually breathe in the frequency of joy. And again, we set that intention. I breathe in the frequency of joy. You bring it in, bring it into the heart space. I breathe in the frequency of joy, peace, faith, because boy, we're all moving through things, and we all have these times where we move through such challenging times, whether it be something we're moving through with a loved one or ourselves or the world. So it's so important to hold the faith. And my brother, Yeshua, Jesus, he teaches to be faithful, hold that faith. And when you forget it, remind yourself, and our guides and our loved ones are right here. Be in joy. Do what makes you happy, makes you joyful every day, throughout the day. I'm seeing the comments come in, and I'm so grateful. And to all of you who've joined, all of you who've come to support me, the new viewers, welcome to the perch, as I'm calling this space. And I look forward to being with you next Tuesday, and I look forward to you connecting with me on a personal level. Just reach out. Blessings to all for an extremely amazing day, and may you know and feel the love that you are. Aho.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments, then head over to Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With over 950 archive shows, the fun doesn't have to end.